Hello everyone, this is Hilary Zoe. Welcome to our weekly VOC English program, where we bring you the latest and most significant news from Chinland this week. Let's take a look at the key stories we'll be covering tonight. In the ongoing Chin Brotherhood offensive aimed at reclaiming Minda and Phalam, the revolution forces have reportedly achieved some notable success. However, the military junta has responded with intense airstrikes, dropping heavy bombs in the conflict zones, according to reports. A report by the organization Blood Money reveals that the Myanmar military junta has conducted over 1,300 air and drone strikes across the country, including Chin State, in just the past 4 months. Nearly 600 civilians, including 50 children, have been killed, and more than 800 have been injured as a result of these attacks. This alarming escalation highlights the growing toll of violence on innocent civilians. Displaced Chin residents from Palawa flee to Mizoram amid conflict. In Palawa Township of Chin State, now under the control of the Arakan Army, AA, approximately 50 Kumi Chin residents have fled to Mizoram State in India to escape the escalating violence in the region. These are just some of the headlines we'll be diving into tonight. Stay with us for more updates and insights on these stories and other important developments. Intensified battles in Chin State. Heavy bombing by Myanmar military junta in Minda and Phalam. The Chin Brotherhood Alliance offensive, launched to capture Minda and Phalam, has resulted in significant gains for the resistance forces. However, the military junta has escalated its counterattacks with heavy airstrikes. On the morning of November 22nd, starting around 10 a.m., Minda was subjected to relentless bombings by jet fighters and Y-12 bombers, dropping powerful 250-pound and 500-pound bombs. According to a military source from Minda, Y-12 aircraft also carried out over 70 strikes using 120mm bomb clusters in groups of 4 and 7. In Phalam, clashes continued throughout November 21st, with the junta launching sustained airstrikes and artillery fire from Galay to support their ground forces. The Chin Brotherhood's offensive, spearheaded by Chin Brotherhood Alliance, the Arakan Army, AA, and allied groups, began on November 9th and has now entered its second week. While there has been no official statement from the Chin Brotherhood regarding the ongoing battles, reports indicate that most of the junta's military outposts in Minda and Phalam have been seized by the resistance forces. In Minda, the key military target remaining is Battalion 274, while in Phalam, Battalion 268 remains under junta control. The majority of urban areas in both towns are now under the control of the Chin Brotherhood's forces. In response, the Myanmar military junta has intensified its airstrikes, launching heavy bombings in an effort to regain control of these strategic areas. Myanmar military junta's airstrikes and drone attacks inflict severe civilian casualties nationwide. In a report released by Blood Money, the military junta has conducted over 1,300 airstrikes and drone attacks across Myanmar, including Chin State, within the last 4 months. These strikes have killed nearly 600 civilians, including 50 children, and injured over 800 others. Between June and September 2024, 1,210 airstrikes were carried out, claiming the lives of 543 civilians, including 49 children and 96 women, while injuring 827 people. The report highlights that the junta's airstrikes have not only targeted active conflict zones, but also civilian areas where no fighting was occurring. Additionally, there were 98 drone attacks during the same period, resulting in the deaths of 38 civilians, including 1 child and 22 women, and leaving 70 others injured. The junta's aerial attacks have also caused widespread destruction of civilian infrastructure. Over 600 houses, 80 religious buildings, 400 commercial properties, 27 schools, a UN office, 2 refugee camps, 11 healthcare facilities, and 2 prisons have been destroyed. In Chin State alone, there were 35 airstrikes reported in the last 4 months. September recorded the highest number of airstrikes with 13 incidents. These attacks resulted in the death of 5 civilians, including children and women, and left 14 others injured. Furthermore, 39 homes, 8 religious buildings, and 2 schools were destroyed in the region. Kumi Chin villagers flee Palewat Township amid tensions. Reports indicate that around 50 Kumi Chin individuals from Palewat Township in Chin State, currently under the control of the Arakan Army, AA, have fled to Mizoram State in India. Last week and earlier this week, 8 families from a village in Palewat Township crossed into a border village in Longklai District, Mizoram. A person assisting them confirmed the situation, citing escalating tensions in the region. The Arakan Army AA has reportedly been enforcing an educational program in Palewat, mandating the teaching of the Rakhine language. Local Kumi Chin residents resistant to these measures have chosen to flee. Additionally, the AA has allegedly detained and threatened Kumi Chin individuals under accusations of supporting the Chin Defense Force, CDF, in Palewat, further prompting the displacement. Currently, temporary shelters have been constructed for the displaced individuals, and arrangements are being made to provide them with basic necessities and accommodations. Northwest Galay region faces supply blockade by military junta. Reports indicate that residents in the northwestern region of Galay Township, Sagaing Division, are facing severe difficulties due to a supply and transportation blockade imposed by the military junta. The affected area is predominantly home to Chin communities residing in several villages. The Galay District Military Administration Office, DACASA, has cut off transportation routes and restricted access to food, medicine, and essential supplies in the northwest. The main Galay-Lepanchao-Yazajo Road, which serves as the primary connection to the northwest region, is now heavily restricted. The junta has set up a security checkpoint near Sidji village, where all traffic is controlled. Reports state that junta troops stationed at the checkpoint typically open the gate only twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening, and sometimes keep it completely closed for an entire day, denying passage to vehicles and goods. This blockade has left residents in the northwest unable to transport harvested crops, including rice and other produce, to Kalay town. Likewise, essential supplies such as medicine and basic consumer goods from Galay cannot reach the region, creating significant hardship for the local population. Over 13 million in Myanmar face food insecurity, nearly 3.5 million displaced. The World Food Programme, WFP, reports that more than 13.3 million people in Myanmar are currently grappling with food insecurity, while nearly 3.5 million have been displaced due to ongoing conflict. In its statement released on November 20th, the WFP highlighted that 1 in 4 people in Myanmar is experiencing inadequate access to food. Furthermore, millions have been forced to abandon their homes, leaving them homeless and displaced. The WFP, the largest humanitarian organization operating in Myanmar, announced its plans to provide humanitarian assistance to approximately 2 million people in the country by 2025. The organization is working closely with local groups to ensure essential aid reaches conflict-affected areas. WFP's support includes emergency relief for those impacted by conflict, nutritional aid for children, mothers, and individuals' ongoing treatment for HIV and TB, and resilience-building programs for local communities. In 2024 alone, WFP provided aid to approximately 1.7 million people across Myanmar, delivering life-saving assistance to those most in need. Over 671 children killed in Myanmar since military coup. The Assistance Association for Political Prisoners, AAPP, reports that 671 children have died in Myanmar since the military coup in February 2021. The annual death toll for children have been rising year over year. In 2021, 101 children under the age of 18 were killed. This number increased to 136 in 2022. By 2023, the toll rose significantly to 208. And before the end of 2024, the number has already reached 226, according to AAPP's latest release. On November 15th, in Gonglo Village, Momok Township, Kachin State, the junta's airstrikes hit the grounds of a KBC Christian church. The bombing killed 9 internally displaced persons, IDPs, including 7 children, AAP confirmed. The AAPP's data shows that from February 1st, 2021 to November 20th, 2024, a total of 5,973 pro-democracy activists and civilians have been killed by the junta and its forces during the 3 years since the coup. Thank you for tuning into the weekly VOC English program. We will be back with more updates in our next broadcast. We hope to see you again.